Hello, third graders. Today we're going to learn how to use number lines to solve multiplication problems. So you've been using number lines for a while now. You've learned how to use a number line to subtract by taking the larger number, 15, moving backwards. In this case, we're going to move backwards 5, and I did it by jumps of 1, so I can show you the 5 to get to the difference, which is the answer to subtraction problem, and that would be 10. You've also used number lines to find the sum of two numbers. Sum is the answer to an addition problem. We start at 7 in this problem, and we move ahead 4. I did by jumps of 1, so that way you can see that 7 plus 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, equals 11. That is the sum to my addition problem. Today, we're going to look at using those same number lines to figure out multiplication problems. Now, I have this all set up for you on the screen. So let's take a look at what I have. My multiplication problem is 2 times 5. Now, we've already been talking about equal grouping. We're going to use this on the number line. The first number tells me how many groups I'm going to have, or the number of jumps that I'm going to take. The second number will tell you how many is going to be in each jump. So when you're setting up your number line, this is going to be how many times you are going to jump, and this is going to tell you how many numbers in each jump it's going to be, because it has to be equal number of groups. Same thing as if you're doing equal grouping to show the product of a multiplication problem. Product is just the answer to a multiplication problem. So I've set up my number line. This number line happens to go through 20. We won't use all 20 numbers, and that's okay. I set up my first group of 5, because remember, this right here, this number here, tells you how many is in each group. This number tells you how many times you're going to jump. So I'm going to do one group of 5. So I'm starting at 0, and I'm going to land at 5. That is my first group of 5. That one is easy to do. I don't have to count. I just land at this number right here. The second group, I'm going to move ahead 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That is where I land my second jump at. That, since I only have 2 groups, 2 jumps, tells me the product of this multiplication problem. 2 times 5 equals 10. So all I've got to remember is I'm doing equal grouping. I'm doing a number of jumps that's told in the multiplication problem. So I have 2 jumps in this one, 5 in each jump. So it's not hard. It's stuff that you've been doing all along. We're just putting it on a number line, so that way we're giving you another tool, another strategy to be able to solve multiplication problems. Let's try it with a word problem, and let's see how to put all of this together. And we could refer back to this screen right here to help us solve it. So if I went through that a little fast, don't worry, we're getting ready to do a word problem to help us understand this a little bit better. Now I've got my tools all set out here, and I'll explain this as we go. Right now, let's focus on this problem, and we're going to use the 3-read strategy to help us solve it. McKenna wants to run for class president this year. She wants to put 8 posters on each hallway of the school. If there are 5 hallways total, how many posters does she need to make altogether? Okay, now I'm going to go through and find the important information and look at the strategy that, well, not strategy, the situation that's in the problem, so I can figure out the strategy to use. My first thing that I notice is there are 8 posters on each hallway. Now there's another number here that I need to look at. There are 5 hallways. So for every single hallway, she's going to put 8 posters. Now, we need to figure out the total number of posters, which I'm using as P. We got to solve this problem. Well, to do that, I need to set up my multiplication problem. I know that there are 8 groups. And in every group, there's going to be 5 items. In this case, there are 8 posters. And every 8 posters goes on a hallway. So my first number is going to give me the number of jumps. My second number is going to tell me the number inside of each jump. Now, I want to use an open number line for this one. If you take a look, there's a difference between this number line and this number line. If you go by the definition of an open number line, that just says there are no numbers on this number line. Reason we want to use this is it's going to help us save time and not put like 100 tick marks on this number line to be able to solve this problem. Watch what I can do. Since I know that every single jump is going to have 5 numbers in it, I can create this number line to count by 5s to be able to solve this multiplication problem. I'm going to go ahead and start my number line off at 0 and then do my first jump. Now remember, the first jump is easy because this number right here tells you what should land on to begin with. So I know I'm going to land on 5. Now remember, at the end of this, I have to do 8 jumps. My second jump, I'm going to move 2. Now remember, I'm jumping by 5 each time. That should be a 10. My third jump that I'm going to move to, 5, 10, 15. Now remember, at the end, I'm doing 8 jumps. 1, 2, 3 jumps so far. Now here's where I've got to really pay attention, because what will happen, third graders, is we will get so involved at counting by 5s, we will forget that we have to stop at this number of jumps. And if we keep going, we may put the wrong answer down for our multiplication product. For our multiplication problem. The product is the answer to the multiplication problem. We may get the wrong product for this multiplication problem. So I've got to keep count of this number of jumps. 1 jump, 2 jump, 3 jump, 4 jump. This is 5 jumps. Okay, now don't get carried away and counting by 5s. Remember, we've got to stop at 8 jumps. How many jumps do we have so far? Do we have enough? 1 jump, 2 jump, 3 jump, 4 jump, 5 jump, 6 jump, 7 jump. Not yet. I've got one more jump to do. Now I should be at 8 jumps. We have 5 hallways. That's this number. That's how many is in each jump. I have 8 jumps because every hallway gets 8 posters. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So what is 5 times 8? Did you say 40? Then you're right. So P equals 40. She will need to make 40 posters. That's a lot of drawing, isn't it? All right, let's try this one. It takes 3 laps to complete a mile. Joe runs 7 miles. How many laps does he run? Well, I need to get those numbers first. There is a number right here that's hidden. Now, if I was you, I would take my pen and I would write the number right above the word form. And the reason you want to do that is this will tell your brain that this is a number I need to deal with. Sometimes when I look at this, my brain is thinking this is a word and I don't need to worry too much about that one. But if I put the number above it, it'll tell my brain this is actually a number and I need to see if I need to use it in my word problem. It takes 3 laps to complete a mile. Joe runs 7 miles. Well, there's a second number that I need to work with. 7 miles. Now I need to know how many laps he's got to run. So I want to set this up into a number sentence to help me solve this multiplication problem. So here's how I set it up. I said, okay, he runs 7 miles, and I know in 1 mile, it takes 3 laps. So if I want to run 1 mile on this track, I've got to run around it 3 times to get 1 mile, but he does 7 of them. And I need to know how many laps that is total. So what am I going to do? 7 is the number of jumps that I'm going to take. So this right here is how many jumps I'm going to make. 3 is the number in every single jump that I'm going to do. Okay, so I need to set up my open number line here so I can jump 7 times and put 3 in each jump. So I need to come back here for a second and copy that little line because I forgot to put it over here. There we go. I need that and a 0. And I said that every time I jump, I want to go up 3. Now, I have to be careful because remember, I don't want to get so involved in going by 3s that I lose track of how many times I jump. Remember, each time we jump, we're going to add 3. So 3 plus 3, that tells me my next jump. Three plus 3 more is 6. If I haven't figured out how to count by 3s yet, all I got to do is add 3 each time. But don't get so caught up that you lose track of the number of jumps that you're doing. Okay? I'm going to do 3 more. 6 plus 3. That's going to give me 9. Now I have to do 3 more. 9 plus 3 is 12. I'm going to do 3 more. 12 plus 3 is 15. Now, I know that I have got to do 7 jumps. I don't want to get carried away. 1 jump, 2 jump, 3 jump, 4 jump, 5 jump. I've got 2 more jumps to do. So I got to keep up. I don't want to go over 7. So as I'm making my jumps on my open number line, if I go too far, I'm going to write down the wrong product for this multiplication problem. That was 15 plus 3 to give me 18. And I said that was 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yes, I need one more. And I'm going to do 18 plus 3. And that will give me 21. I should have done 7 jumps. One, two, from there to there's 1. From there to there's 2. 1 jump, 2 jump. 3 jump. 4 jump. 5 jump. 6 jump to here. And 7 jumps to here. And that gives me 21. So how many laps does he need to run? That's what I need to solve. He needs to run 21 laps. All right, so it's pretty easy. Just to recap, I need to make 7 groups, and each group need to have 3 laps. And when I do my total number of jumps, I will see 21 laps. So this is how you use number lines to solve multiplication problems.